Hi, beautiful friends. Thank you so much for tuning into a new video. I wanted to just share some reflections that I had after a year of healing from trauma. And I know that I tend to get a little bit wordy in my videos. So if you want the two main takeaways from this video, it would be if you have gone through something that you feel like you need to heal from, or you are currently healing from, then number one, you have to be patient, because healing takes time. I wish there was some like magic wand that we could get that just, we sprinkle a little fairy dust on our head and all of a sudden everything is all fixed for us and we can go on about our lives. But that's not how it works. So number one, we have to be patient because healing takes time. And number two, we need to be willing to do the work to heal. It's really easy to remain stuck in the place. You hear me talk about the stuckness a lot. We get stuck in these really dark places, and sometimes it feels scary to put in the effort and do the work to get us out of that and move us from point A to point B. But we have to be willing to do that work because healing takes work. It takes effort. Like I said, there's no magic wand. There's no magic pill that's going to take it all away from us. And so when we are willing to do the work, at the same time, we have to also be willing to practice a lot of grace and a lot of self-compassion and really kind of cut ourselves some slack. Like, we're putting in this effort, but we have to be willing to be okay with the ups and the downs and the times that we slip and fall, and we have to just pick ourselves back up and really exercise that resilience muscle in our body. So those are the two main takeaways. But so 1 year ago today, my dog and I were attacked by 3 pit bulls in our front yard. And I won't go into all of the details of the attack, but it was the most horrific, terrifying thing that I've ever been through personally in my life. I've never felt so much like a victim. I've never felt so helpless to protect something or someone that I love. So I wasn't able to protect my dog from this event. One single human against 3 pit bulls is a lot. And I'm very thankful for the neighbor who came across and helped us get the pit bulls off of my dog so I could get her inside. She did have to have multiple surgeries, but she recovered really fast. And it's really amazing. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. My husband also suffered a lot of kind of emotional and psychological trauma from this too. But so I don't want to exclude him from this, but his story is not mine to tell. So I am strictly telling this from my perspective. He's had to do his own healing around this as well. So the things that I have learned from this event was, are that the physical body, whether you be human or animal, is really, really amazing. And it can heal from almost anything that we could do to it. So the process of watching my dog heal, she had to have multiple surgeries, and the photos that I have of the event are just horrifically gruesome. It is a huge blessing that she didn't die in that attack. But being able to watch her go from immediately after the attack and then after the first surgery to the point where she had to have a second surgery, which was just a couple of weeks later, it just really was mind-blowing to me how quickly the physical body actually healed. When we take the time to properly care for the physical body, if there's been some sort of injury or some sort of trauma to it, whether we've had surgery or we've been in an accident or something like that, the body really is resilient, and it can heal when it's given the proper tools to heal, which is great nutrition, rest, self-care, just lots of tender love and care, which is exactly what we were doing for our dog. We were really babying her and nurturing her and helping her heal. And for me, that I think was one of the most mind-blowing things from the whole event, was because I had never been through something like that where I had to see a physical injury heal. And the vet was really impressed with how quickly she healed as well. We expected it to be about 8 to 12 weeks for her to recover from all of the injuries, and she recovered in 7. it was 7 weeks from the event to when we had the last stitches taken out. So that was pretty impressive and pretty amazing. For me, I learned the things that I talked about at the beginning of the video, which is to have patience because healing takes time and to be willing to do the work to heal. I went through a really dark period during that time, and it kind of set in motion a whole cascade of personal struggles for me. My health started flaring. I started having depression, and there were some other things that happened that I am not at liberty to discuss, but were very challenging during that time. And so it really taught me patience and faith and hope. And so I would like to say that as a believer, I was able to just fully rely on God during that time and look to him for comfort and strength. But that would be a lie. I went into a really dark place, but I can also see coming out the other side where the events, where he was using those events in a way to do some really deep work on me. So I guess that would be another takeaway, is that even when things feel really dark and really challenging and maybe really hopeless, there's probably deep work going on underneath, and those events are shaping us and building that resilience and building that faith and that hope in us if we let it. Now, we can resist all of that and we can push it away and we can ignore it. But if we are willing to keep our hearts and our minds open, even if it feels difficult at times, then there's a lot of goodness that can come out of darkness. So I totally had other things that I was going to say about this, but I'm kind of having a brain fart now. So today has been a little bit of a challenge for me. I still have a lot of healing to do. It's taken about 9 months for my nervous system to get me out of that chronic fight or flight state that I was in for a really long time. And I'm dealing with the subsequent effects of chronic stress for that extended period of time as well. So that really caused a lot of health flares for me that I am still working on healing. But I remember totally what I was going to say. So the one lesson that I do feel like I really learned through all of this and reflecting back on it is that it's not up to me to figure out why bad things happen to good people. We were never promised an easy journey. We've never been promised that it's going to be an easy path, but those bad events and those challenging seasons can really be used to strengthen our perseverance and our resilience. And if we can just really maintain hope and faith, even in the darkest hour, we can come out on the other side a lot stronger with a lot more knowledge and a lot more compassion for other people and what they're going through. So I feel like that's a really huge takeaway for me as I reflect back on the events of the last year. So rather than ramble on and on, I'll kind of go ahead and sum up this. So I guess I just want to send love out to you. If you have gone through something that has been traumatic or challenging in your life, whether it be recently or even years or decades ago, I'm sending you a lot of love. And I just hope that you can find it in yourself to take a step forward, even if it feels really difficult. And if you can start practicing hope and faith in your life, even if it feels difficult and impossible at times, it will make the journey a lot easier. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I also am sharing kind of a written post over on my profile that will have all this written up for those of you that like to read instead of watch. So anyways, I guess I'll sign off. Hopefully this makes sense and I didn't ramble too much. It kind of feels like I still am a little bit disconnected from the event in some ways. So when I talk about it, it sometimes feels like I have a hard time articulating it. But this is me. This is my real life. This is what I'm dealing with today. And so hopefully it's been helpful for you. So I will talk to you guys again really soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.